The goal of this series is to compress frequently asked questions into one place in hopes to make it easier to find the answers. If I've previously covered questions asked, I will be sure to let you know what videos to check out. And please remember that I am not an expert. My responses are based on my personal experiences with my hair throughout the years, as well as my own research. Hey everybody, it's Chris, and today is the second episode of the Hair Q&A series. Alright, so here we go. One of the most popular questions that I receive all the time is, why do I not protective style my hair? Why don't I wear extensions, braids, wigs, weaves, things like that? In addition to that, someone wanted to know, how do I retain length if I don't do protective styles? Alright, so the reason why I choose not to wear protective styles is basically just by choice. I really just have never been one to wear a lot of extensions, weaves, wigs, and things like that. I think I've only had like one full set of braids like once that I can remember. So there was a phase in my journey where I did do a lot of phony ponies, and I love my phony ponies, okay? Like, I would rock those things all the time. But that's pretty much how far I've ever gotten with like extensions, where I would wear them, you know, frequently. I personally just prefer to be hands-on with my hair and learn, you know, what my hair likes and doesn't like. Even if I'm having like a rough week with my hair and like she's just acting crazy, I really don't want to be bothered with her, I still will try to figure out what I can do in those situations, because it's going to happen again. I'm going to have another bad hair day at some point, or a bad hair week, and I want to know how to handle my hair in those situations. I also want to add that I have a very sensitive scalp and I need to wash my hair frequently. So for me, I think that a lot of my protective styles wouldn't even last or hold up, because when I do wash my hair and once it gets wet, it gets really frizzy. So, you know, if I did braids or something like that, it would probably look a mess within like a week. Seriously. I've also mentioned in several videos that my hair is not thick at all. I have very fine and fragile hair. I know that my hair cannot handle a lot of tension, especially around the hairline and the nape, the crown area, things like that. I always experience some sort of damage in the long run. So I just prefer to allow my hair to, you know, be managed in its own weight and not add additional weight to my strands. Now, I will say, if I ever went on like vacation for like an extended period of time and, you know, I wasn't going to be able to have my products or, you know, whatever I needed to do my hair with, then I would consider some sort of like, probably like a twisted protective style or something like that. But for real, on the day-to-day, I really don't find the need to have to protective style my hair. I do get questions asking like, you know, well, what am I going to do in the wintertime when it's cold outside and snowing, or like if it's going to be excessive rain or excessive humidity, whatever, throughout the year. And I live on the East Coast. I live in Delaware, so I do get cold weather and I do get very hot weather. Pretty much in all weather, I try to make sure that my hair is as moisturized as possible. I think that the most damage that I've received from wearing my hair out would probably be during the summertime, with like the sun. So if I don't protective style, how do I retain length? And for me personally, whatever you see in the videos, tutorials, and the regimen videos on the channel is how I handle my hair. Again, I wear my hair out all the time. You may notice that I do low manipulation styles instead of protective styles. I think I have like 1 or 2 protective styles on the channel, but again, they're only in for a couple days at a time, and then I kind of like take them down. But for me, low manipulation has been key for, you know, me retaining length. Whenever I do use a comb or brush or anything like that on my hair, I'm very careful, and I only try to use it on the sections that is needed and when it's needed. I also received lots of questions asking if I tried any of the new Shea Moisture lines out. As you may know, they have like 3 new lines out. I have not gotten a chance to try any of them because my area is like whack, okay? They do not carry like anything new from Shea Moisture, so I get to try stuff like really late. I also received questions asking if I've tried any products from the Alikay Naturals line, and I have not tried that line out yet either, but I've heard great things about the lemongrass leave-in. It's supposed to be really good. Someone also asked me, how do I, you know, avoid flaking and things like that when I'm using certain products. She was having some difficulty with the products that she was using. So on the channel, I actually posted a video a while back called avoiding flakes and balls of goo in your hair when mixing products, something like that. Usually the products that cause the flaking and the balls of goo in your hair are usually like leave-ins and gels put together. So what I like to do, if I haven't used the products before together, I like to take the leave-in, like a little bit of leave-in. This is actually Kinky Curly. I just bought this and I used it last night and I really like it so far. But I would take a little bit of the leave-in conditioner in my hand like this, or whatever product that, you know, I'm not sure if it's going to cause flakes or not. And then I would grab like my gel or whatever creamy styler that I'm going to be using with the leave-in conditioner. And this is like aloe vera gel from CVS that I'm re-falling in love with. I'll just take a little bit of that along with the leave-in, and then mix the two together to see if it causes any coagulation, any balling, flaking, and things like that. In this case, I'm getting some kind of like balls of goo in my hands, so I would not go in with my hair personally and use these two products together. If it's flaking on my hand or if it's balling up on my hand, there's a huge chance that it's going to ball up in my hair. So I also received a question from somebody who is currently transitioning to natural. So congratulations to you, as well as all of those out there who are transitioning or who just big chop. It's so fantastic. But she was basically asking if there was something wrong with her hair because she could not see a curl pattern, like a defined curl pattern, you know, at the line of her relaxed hair and, you know, her natural hair. For me personally, I transitioned for 6 months, so my new growth got to about 3 inches long, maybe 3.5 in some spots, and you know, I could see that my hair looked wavy when it was, you know, attached to the relaxed hair. But once I let go of the relaxed hair, my hair snapped right up, okay, and those waves those waves went goodbye. I would say you really are not going to know what your hair is going to look like 100% until you remove all the relaxed ends from your hair. The weight of the relaxed hair, even though a lot of times it tends to be thinner than your natural hair, it still kind of alters the way your new growth is going to look. So you're not really going to know until you let it all go. Also, a lot of times after you big chop your hair, it takes some time for your new hair to kind of get into the routine of what it's going to be doing, kind of getting used to the environment. I know hair is not like alive like that, but sometimes it be acting like it is, okay? It be having personalities and stuff, acting crazy one day, on point the next. So if you just big chop, I would say to moisturize your hair a whole lot. Like feed it moisture, and that can definitely help, you know, bring out your coil pattern or curl pattern if you are going to have one. And it also can just nourish your hair, because a lot of times when you big chop, it's very, very dry in the beginning and it needs a whole lot of moisture. I do have a video on the channel called Chris Answers Your Questions. This was my first Q&A video that I did. In that video, I talk about my big chop experience and what exactly happened when I big chopped, and you know, the emotions and things like that that I went through. So I also received questions concerning re-moisturizing hair that needs to be washed, and you know, how do I soften hair that, you know, I am unable to wash like at the moment. So basically re-moisturizing dirty hair. So I mentioned in the last Q&A video that I do my hair frequently. A lot of times I do my hair 2 to 3 times a week, sometimes more. There are some times when I'm unable to wash my hair. I actually just had that experience this past weekend. We had a lot going on and I was unable to co-wash my hair, so I had to go an extra 2 days. My scalp was on fire, but I made it. But basically what I do in that case is I only apply very, very little product if I'm going to apply product on dirty hair. For me, it kind of really doesn't help because my hair doesn't really accept the extra moisture. It just becomes greasy and weighed down, smelly sometimes. I personally prefer to just re-co-wash my hair instead of, you know, constantly adding moisture on top of it. I do know that that's not the case for a lot of people. A lot of people can go, you know, several weeks without, you know, re-washing their hair or re-moisturizing their hair, and they have no problems layering on products. That's just something that doesn't work for me personally, but if it works for you, I don't see an issue with, you know, doing that. I do have videos on the channel where I show like day 1 and day 2 hair, and in those videos I show what I do at night, and that's exactly how I handle my hair. Once again, what you see in the videos is what I do. Another question that I received is how do I keep my hair stretched when I'm rocking, you know, styles like twist outs, braid outs, bantu knot outs, and things like that, and how do I avoid like shrinkage? Shrinkage is just something that my hair is going to do no matter what I have in my hair. It's going to morph in some sort of way throughout the day. So for instance, like I did this is a wet twist out that I did last night, and it's already done morphed itself a few times since I've taken my twist down. Now my hair today will not go from being this stretched out to being like a TWA or anything like that. It's not going to do any dramatic changes that way, but it may, you know, puff up a little bit more throughout the day. It may swell up. I might lose some curl definition, but for the most part the shape of it will remain the same. So for me personally, when I do stretched hairstyles like the one I'm rocking today, I like to use products that don't contain too many humectants. The job of humectants is to draw moisture to the hair, and if you have coily or curly hair, natural hair, you know that any sort of moisture, water, a drop from the sky, it's going to cause some sort of shrinkage on your hair. So when you're using products that contain a lot of humectants, glycerin, panthenol, castor oil, honey, things like that, you're definitely likely to experience some sort of shrinking and swelling of the hair. If I want to avoid that as much as possible, I like to use things like pomades, butters. Like today I have the Kinky Curly in my hair along with some avocado butter, and I tried some shea butter. I'm trying the shea butter line out. I'll let you know about that soon. Things that do do not contain a lot of water or a lot of humectants seem to kind of keep my hair stretched longer than things that would contain those things. I do know for a fact that, you know, during certain times of the year, if I use too many humectants, my hair will immediately start to frizz out. Like as soon as I remove my twist, it will completely explode into my fro. So during certain times of year, I definitely try to make sure that I'm using things that are appropriate for hold when I'm going for stretch styles. You may remember 2 summers ago, I had like a huge issue with frizz, and you know, the culprit of that was glycerin. I was using a ton of glycerin during that time of year, and my hair was freaking out. It was frizzing up so much I could not get any hold. So I did receive a question about frizz, and I would say that the two kind of go hand in hand. A lot of times excessive frizz is caused by, you know, too many humectants in your hair. If your hair is healthy and you know you don't have any issues with like split ends and things like that, but your styles are always coming out frizzy, take a look at your products and see how many humectants you're actually using for the style. Alright, so another popular question that I receive all the time is concerning the edges and the nape, 2 most sensitive areas on, I think, a lot of people's heads. On the channel, I do have a video dedicated to this topic, thinning hairlines, edges, napes, and stuff like that. So I will link that video down below. I share a whole lot of tips, you know, ranging from, you know, things you can use on your scalp to stimulate growth to, you know, protecting your edges when you're doing updos and things like puffs and stuff like that. I wear puffs all the time. So, you know, there's steps that I like to take at times if I'm experiencing, you know, tenderness and things like that on my scalp. Many of you have complimented my hairline, and I thank you so much. You're so sweet. But I do not have a thick hairline, y'all. It is like illusion, okay? So a lot of times what I like to do is I don't even mess around with slicking down my hairline. As you can see, like my hair, like right up in here, is definitely a lot thinner, and if I pull my hair up in certain ways, it kind of looks like I just have a crazy hairline. Gabe actually pointed that out to me last Christmas. He's like, "Mommy, what's going on up here?" And I'm like, "Gabe, my hair has always been like that, okay?" Embarrassing. But a way I really like to keep that like not as noticeable is I do not really go for super slick edges. I don't really even worry about that, and it kind of just gives me the illusion of fullness up in there. Okay, so there you go, shrinkage and, you know, not really going for super slick hairlines and edges and stuff like that allows my hair to look thicker than it actually is. Alright, so I also received lots of questions concerning the wash and go. What exactly is it? Questions concerning coil patterns and curl patterns. Also things like detangling and breaking wash and goes down. As you may know, I do wash and goes all the time, okay? It's usually a wash and go or a twist out. Those are my 2 main go-to styles. They just kind of look different all the time depending on what I use and the climate and things like that. I had several reasons why I wanted to learn how to master my wash and goes. For one, it was kind of like a personal thing. Like I wanted to learn how to accept what my hair naturally did in its 100% natural state. My hair is not naturally this stretched out. My hair naturally wants to shrink down to my head and my scalp and end up being like this long. That is what my hair likes to do. So I wanted to become comfortable with every aspect of me being natural. So I personally think that me rocking long hair is cool and stretch hair is cool, but I also think that my shrunken hair is fly. But on my channel, I have a whole lot of wash and go videos ranging from my true wash and goes, semi-shrunken wash and goes, super stretch wash and goes, gigantic wash and goes. There are so many different videos to check out. But for me personally, if I had to define, you know, a wash and go style, I would say I would co-wash my hair, apply my product, you know, set it if I'm going to stretch it out a little bit, or just leave it as is after my product, and proceed to dry my hair, whether it's going to be air drying or, you know, drying it with a dryer, and then fluff and go. A lot of people ask if my hair has always been coily or if that's kind of like something new. My hair's always been coily, and I know that because like when I would co-wash my hair, it would kind of be curly and coily, but once it would dry down, it would kind of frizz out and bush out and shrink. It would always shrink, but it would dry down a lot differently. However, as my hair got longer, around like 5 inches or so, my coils started to kind of hang on to the shape after my hair would dry. I do have several videos showing how I detangle my wash and goes. I pretty much handle my hair the same way that I do with like detangling my twist outs. And as far as like the amount of knots and stuff, I mentioned in the last video that I get knots regardless of whatever state my hair is in. It's just kind of like different types of knots. Single strand knots are there all the time, but with like my stretched hairstyles, I get more like complex knots. Like the knots will be a lot larger. With my wash and goes, I tend to get like really tiny ones at the very ends, where like a couple strands will link themselves together at the end of my hair, and then I have to kind of snip those out. But I think that I would prefer, like if I had to pick a type of knot to deal with, I would choose those versus the complex knots that I get with like my twist knots and stuff, because I lose less hair when I'm dealing with those. So the last few questions I'm going to group together because they're kind of along the same lines of each other. So the questions are, you know, do I find that my hair is an accessory to me, or if it's like a part of me? Has being natural impacted my life in any sort of way? And is this the longest my hair has ever been? So this is not the longest that my hair has ever been. I'm not really sure how long my hair is now, but my hair has definitely been longer than this. All right, so let's see. Back section. I'm getting pretty close to armpit length. I have a really, okay. I have a really long neck, so it takes me forever to reach armpit length. I'm gonna try to tuck that in there somewhere. All right, it's in there somewhere. So do I think my hair is more of an accessory to me or a part of me? And I would kind of say like both. My hair is definitely a part of me. Again, you know, I went natural to figure out what my real was, because I've spent so many years trying to get my hair to do something that it didn't want to do. I've absolutely fallen in love with the way my hair looks natural versus what it did look like when it was relaxed. So I really do feel like I'm more complete with me, you know, rocking my natural texture versus me rocking my relaxed texture. And the accessory side of it would be, you know, me changing up my hairstyles. A lot of times I do the same steps, but my hair looks different daily because she kind of morphs herself into different ways. And I currently don't do too much experimenting with my hair, you know, like as far as color and things like that, you know, extensions and stuff. But I do like to have fun with my hair, and I do like to play around with my hair. So and being natural has definitely impacted my life for the better. Again, I spent so many years and so much time when I was younger trying to get my hair to do and look like something that it was not, and I was never really 100% happy with the way it turned out. So I don't know if you can relate, but I know that when I was relaxed and when I was, you know, wearing my hair in other styles and stuff like that, my whole ensemble look and the whole thing just didn't work. It never really worked. I was always finicking with my hair, and I just didn't really feel like my clothes matched my hair or my features. It was just a mess. But now I do feel that like it kind of just works. Even on the rough hair days, it just kind of works itself out. Works with, you know, whatever outfit I'm wearing. I feel like it fits my features better. It frames my face better. I just feel like it works, y'all. Okay. So one thing I like to say when people write in, you know, with questions and concerns, or, you know, they're feeling a little bit down about what their hair texture is or what it looks like, I like to let them know that God did not bless you with a texture that you can't handle. So, you know, where I was growing up thinking that my hair was impossible and that, you know, I couldn't do certain things with it and that it was just not the best look for me, that is definitely not the case. And your overall look, your hair, your skin, your body type, whatever, is all unique to you, and that is your best beautiful. It's your best look, so rock it. A lot of times we feel like we're not good enough and that we feel like we have to change ourselves to be something that we're not, but you know, just remember that it's always the easiest to just be yourself. Like no matter what it is, whether it's her hair, you know, skin and makeup, and I'm getting all off subject and stuff, but you know, it all kind of goes together. A lot of times we just need to accept who we are and work with what we have naturally instead of trying to change it so much. It took me most of my life to realize how God originally designed me and created me was my best beautiful. So stay encouraged, everyone out there, and remember to embrace what you naturally have. It is unique to you and you're most beautiful. Okay. All right. Okay. Alright, so this concludes episode number 2 of the hair Q&A series. I hope this video was helpful in some sort of way. Don't forget that there will be more videos in addition to this one and the last one that I posted, where questions will be answered. I have a whole lot of questions to cover, so stay tuned for more videos. Alright, so I will see you very soon in another video. Take care.
Be sure to check out my channel homepage for lots more to watch. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Have a great day.